She stood at the altar, veil fluttering in the gentle breeze of the Manhattan chapel, her heart pounding like a drum in a silent room. But as the organ swelled and the guests shifted expectantly, the doors remained closed, no bride in sight, only the echo of whispers turning to gasps. In that frozen moment, Reagan realized her grand gesture of inviting 5 ex-lovers to witness her new beginning had shattered everything she held dear. Reagan had always been the architect of her own chaos. Growing up in the bustling streets of Brooklyn, she learned early that love wasn't a straight path but a tangled web of emotions, pulling you in directions you never anticipated. At 32, with a successful career as a graphic designer in a trendy Soho firm, she thought she'd finally untangled it all. Jamie, her fiancé, was the steady anchor, kind, ambitious, a pediatric nurse who volunteered at local shelters. Their love story was the stuff of rom-coms. Met at a charity run in Central Park, bonded over shared dreams of a family, and now on the cusp of vows in a historic chapel overlooking the Hudson. But Reagan couldn't shake the ghosts. Weeks before the wedding, in a fit of what she called radical honesty, she sent invitations to her 5 ex-girlfriends. Not out of malice, but a misguided belief that confronting the past would purify her future. "I want closure," she told Jamie one rainy evening in their cozy apartment, rain pattering against the windows like hesitant applause. Jamie, ever supportive, had laughed it off. "You're overthinking, babe. It's our day." But deep down, Reagan knew it was more. A compulsion to prove she'd moved on, or perhaps to see if those old flames still flickered. The first to RSVP was Elena, the fiery artist from her college days at NYU. Elena, with her wild curls and paint-stained hands, had been Reagan's first real love. They met in a figure drawing class, where Elena's bold strokes on canvas mirrored her passion in life. Their relationship burned bright but crashed when Elena's wanderlust took her to Europe for a fellowship, leaving Reagan heartbroken and questioning her worth. Elena's email response was terse. "I'll be there. For old time's sake." Then came Taylor, the corporate lawyer from Chicago, whom Reagan dated during a brief stint in the Midwest for work. Taylor was all sharp suits and sharper wit, teaching Reagan about ambition and self-reliance. But their love soured when Taylor prioritized her career over everything, including Reagan's need for emotional intimacy. "Surprised you'd invite me," Taylor texted. "But count me in, curious to see the woman who tamed you." Sophia arrived next in the responses, the soft-spoken librarian from Seattle, where Reagan had escaped after Taylor. Sophia was a bomb, with her love for poetry and quiet evenings by the Puget Sound. Their bond was deep, intellectual, but fractured when Sophia's family pressures forced her into denial about her sexuality. "This means a lot," Sophia wrote. "I've missed you." Mia, the adventurous photographer from LA, was fourth. Their whirlwind romance involved road trips down the Pacific Coast Highway, capturing sunsets and stolen kisses. But Mia's fear of commitment led to a painful breakup, leaving Reagan stranded in a motel with a broken heart. "Hell yes," Mia replied. "Let's make some new memories, or at least not awkward ones." Last was Jordan, the musician from Austin, Texas, Reagan's most recent ex before Jamie. Jordan's guitar strums and soulful lyrics had swept Reagan off her feet during a music festival. Their love was intense, passionate, but ended in flames when Jordan's touring life clashed with Reagan's desire for stability. "You always knew how to surprise me," Jordan messaged. "See you there." As the wedding day dawned, crisp and clear with the New York skyline gleaming, Reagan paced in her bridal suite. The chapel, adorned with white lilies and soft candlelight, buzzed with guests. Family from both sides, friends from work, and now these 5 women scattered among the pews like landmines in a field of flowers. Jamie, radiant in her tailored suit, waited at the altar, oblivious to the storm brewing. The hook had worked too well. As the processional music began, Reagan's phone buzzed, a group text from the exes initiated by Elena. "We need to talk. Now." Panic surged through Reagan. What had she unleashed? In the chapel's antechamber, hidden from view, the 5 women converged. Elena, still vibrant at 30, crossed her arms. "Reagan invited us all? This isn't closure. It's a circus." Taylor nodded, her lawyer's poise unbroken. "She's playing with fire. Does her fiancé know about everything?" Sophia fidgeted with her necklace, a gift from Reagan years ago. I came because I thought she needed support, but this feels wrong. Mia snapped a photo of the group, half joking. Material for my next exhibit. Exes United. Jordan strummed an invisible guitar. Let's just confront her. She owes us that. Reagan slipped out, her dress whispering against the stone floor. Facing them, her voice trembled. I thought seeing you all happy for me would heal old wounds. Elena stepped forward, eyes flashing. Happy? After you left me without a word. The accusations flew, betrayals unearthed, like Taylor revealing Reagan's secret doubts during their time together, or Sophia confessing how Reagan's abrupt departure had shattered her confidence. Back at the altar, Jamie glanced at her watch, the guests murmuring. Her best friend Lena squeezed her hand. She's probably just nervous. But Jamie's intuition prickled. Reagan had been distant lately, lost in thoughts. The confrontation escalated. Mia accused Reagan of using them as props. You invited us to boost your ego, prove you're over us. Jordan added. And what about that night in Austin? You said you'd never forget. Reagan's defenses crumbled. I love Jamie. This was supposed to be my fresh start. But the drama peaked when Elena dropped the bomb. I still love you, Reagan. That's why I came to fight for us. The room spun. Reagan fled, tears streaming, straight into Jamie's arms as she burst through the doors. The wedding halted, guests stunned. In the ensuing chaos, Jamie pulled Reagan aside. What's going on? Reagan confessed everything. The invitations, the confrontation. Jamie's face paled. You invited your exes? Why? The betrayal stung, but Jamie's love held firm. We need to talk this through. As the sun set over the city, the guests dispersed, whispers of scandal trailing. Reagan and Jamie retreated to their apartment, the weight of the day heavy. I was scared, Reagan admitted. Scared that parts of me still belonged to them. Jamie held her. Love isn't about erasing the past. It's about choosing the future. But the exes weren't done. That night, a knock at the door, Elena with the others behind her. We didn't come to ruin your day, Elena said. We came because we care. Let's hash this out. What followed was a raw, emotional gathering in the living room, candles flickering like hesitant hopes. Stories poured out, heartbreaks, growth, forgiveness. Taylor shared how Reagan taught her vulnerability. Sophia spoke of finding peace in her identity. Mia laughed about their adventures. Jordan played a soft melody on her guitar, a song about letting go. Through tears and laughter, bonds mended. Reagan realized her grand gesture had forced a reckoning, not just for her but for all. Jamie, witnessing the depth of Reagan's past, felt a surge of empathy. This is messy, but it's real, she said. By dawn, resolutions formed. The exes left as friends, closures sealed. Reagan and Jamie rescheduled the wedding, smaller, intimate, focused on their love. Yet doubts lingered. Had Reagan truly moved on? In the weeks following the aborted wedding, New York's relentless pace mirrored Reagan's inner turmoil. The city that never slept seemed to echo her sleepless nights, sirens wailing like unresolved regrets. Jamie suggested therapy, and they started couples counseling in a cozy office on the Upper West Side, where Dr. Ramirez, a wise woman with a gentle accent, unpacked their layers. You invited them because you weren't ready to let go, Dr. Ramirez said in their first session. Reagan nodded, fiddling with her engagement ring. I thought facing them would prove I was. Jamie squeezed her hand. It hurt, but I get it now. We're in this together. But the ex's visit had stirred more than closure. Elena lingered in Reagan's thoughts, the way her eyes sparkled with unfinished business. One afternoon, while designing a campaign for a Brooklyn brewery, Reagan's phone lit up. Elena's number. Coffee? Neutral ground. Against her better judgment, Reagan agreed. They met at a quaint cafe in Greenwich Village, the air thick with espresso and unspoken words. Elena, now a successful gallery owner, looked polished yet vulnerable. That day, I meant what I said. I still have feelings. Reagan's heart raced. Elena, I'm with Jamie. This can't happen. But the pull was magnetic, a reminder of youthful passion. Meanwhile, Jamie threw herself into work at the Children's Hospital, finding solace in tiny patient smiles. But suspicion crept in when Reagan came home late, excuses thin. Work deadline, Reagan said, avoiding eye contact. Jamie bit her tongue, but the seed of doubt sprouted. The drama intensified when Taylor called Reagan for legal advice on a contract. Innocent enough, but their conversation veered personal. You were always the one who got away, Taylor admitted over the phone from her Chicago high-rise. Reagan laughed it off, but the flattery lingered. Sophia, back in Seattle, sent a package. A book of poems with a note. These reminded me of us. Wishing you happiness. Reagan read them late at night, tears falling on pages that evoked rainy afternoons in bookstores. Mia posted photos from the wedding day on her Instagram, artistic shots of the chapel, captioned unexpected reunions. Comments flooded in, some from mutual friends stirring gossip. Jordan released a new single, lyrics suspiciously echoing their breakup. Invited to the end, but the start never fades. Reagan confided in her best friend Riley, over brunch in Williamsburg. I feel like I'm unraveling. Riley, ever blunt, said, You opened Pandora's box. Now close it before you lose Jamie. The high point of conflict came at a surprise gathering. Jamie, sensing the distance, organized a weekend getaway to the Hamptons, hoping to reconnect. Ocean waves crashed like metaphors for their stormy emotions. On the beach, under a canopy of stars, Jamie confronted Reagan. Are you talking to them? Be honest. Reagan broke down. Yes, but it's not what you think. It's closure, I swear. But Jamie had seen the texts, innocent yet intimate. This feels like betrayal. Tears flowed as they argued, sand shifting underfoot. I love you, Jamie. They're the past. Jamie stormed off, leaving Reagan alone with the roar of the sea. Back in the city, Reagan sought out the exes one by one, determined to end the cycles. First, Elena at her gallery. We can't keep this up. I'm choosing Jamie. Elena nodded, eyes misty. I know. Go be happy. Taylor via video call. You're right. We had our time. Sophia's response was poetic. Let the words fade into memory. Mia laughed. Adventure over. Safe travels. Jordan played one last song. Farewell, my muse. Empowered, Reagan returned to Jamie, who had retreated to her sisters in Queens. I cut ties. For us. Jamie, hurt but hopeful, embraced her. Prove it. Their love deepened through the trials, therapy sessions turning into pillars of strength. Reagan designed a new invitation, for a vow renewal, just them and close family, in Central Park where it all began. But whispers of doubt remained. Had the invitations been a subconscious sabotage? As autumn leaves fell, Reagan pondered, her heart fuller yet wiser. The renewal day arrived, crisp air carrying promise. Jamie waited under an arch of blooming flowers, eyes shining. Reagan walked the path, no ghosts in tow. Vows exchanged, rings reaffirmed. Their kiss sealed a hard-won future. Yet, in a quiet moment, Reagan glanced at her phone. A final message from Elena. Proud of you. She deleted it, stepping fully into the light. Friends toasted at the reception. Stories of resilience shared. Riley raised a glass. To love that survives the storm. Jamie whispered to Reagan. We're unbreakable now. The city hummed around them, a testament to second chances. Reagan realized the invitations hadn't destroyed. They'd forged something stronger. A love tempered by fire, rich with humanity. Winter blanketed New York in snow, mirroring the fresh start Reagan and Jamie embraced. Their vow renewal had been intimate, a quiet affirmation amid the holiday bustle. But life, ever the dramatist, wasn't done scripting twists. Jamie's promotion at the hospital meant longer hours, leaving Reagan alone with her thoughts in their apartment, where echoes of the past whispered through the walls. One evening, as snowflakes danced outside, Reagan received an unexpected email from Sophia. I'm in town for a conference. Can we meet? Just friends. Reagan hesitated, but curiosity won. They met at a cozy bookstore in the East Village, shelves groaning with stories much like theirs. Sophia, with her gentle smile, handed Reagan a wrapped book. It's about forgiveness. I thought. After everything. Their conversation flowed like old times, poetry, life updates. But when Sophia's hand brushed Reagan's, the air charged. "I've come out to my family," Sophia shared. "Thanks to you in a way." Reagan pulled back. "I'm happy for you, but I'm committed." Word got back to Jamie through a mutual friend who spotted them. That night, confrontation brewed over dinner. "Sophia? Again?" Jamie's voice cracked. "I thought we were past this." Reagan explained, but the trust fracture widened. "It's innocent." But Jamie's eyes held pain. Innocent doesn't erase the history. The drama escalated when Mia arrived unannounced, camera in hand, for a photo shoot in the city. "Heard about the renewal? Congrats. Let's capture it." Reagan declined, but Mia's persistence led to a group outing with friends, where old stories resurfaced. Jordan, touring nearby, joined unexpectedly, guitar slung over her shoulder. At a dive bar in Brooklyn, the exes, minus Elena and Taylor, reconvened by chance. Laughter turned tense as alcohol loosened tongues. "Remember that road trip?" Mia teased. Jordan strummed a tune about lost loves. Reagan excused herself, heart pounding. Jamie, sensing something amiss, tracked Reagan's location via shared app. A breach born of insecurity. Arriving at the bar, she saw the scene. Reagan surrounded by exes, looking too comfortable. "What the hell?" Jamie exploded. The bar hushed. Reagan stood mortified. "It's not what it looks like." The betrayal felt visceral. Jamie left in tears, hailing a cab into the snowy night. Reagan chased after, slipping on ice, calling her name. Back home, the argument raged. "You keep pulling them back in," Jamie accused. "Maybe subconsciously you don't want this." Reagan denied it, but doubt seeded. In therapy, Dr. Ramirez probed deeper. "Why do these connections persist?" Reagan admitted, "They represent parts of me. Adventurous, passionate, intellectual. With Jamie it's stable, but sometimes I miss the fire." Jamie, hearing this, felt inadequate. "Am I not enough?" The climax built during a blizzard that shut down the city. Confined together, emotions boiled over. Jamie packed a bag. "I need space." Reagan begged, "Don't go. I choose you every day." But Jamie left for her sisters, leaving Reagan in silence. Alone, Reagan reflected. She reached out to the exes one final time via a group email. "Thank you for the lessons, but this chapter closes. No more contact." Responses varied. Understanding from most, a poignant farewell from Elena. "Be well, my first love." Jamie in Queens wrestled with her heart. Calls from friends urged reconciliation. "She's flawed, but she loves you." After days of soul-searching, Jamie returned. "I forgive you, but we rebuild trust slowly." Their love evolved, incorporating the fire Reagan craved. Spontaneous dates, weekend adventures. Jamie opened up about her fears, fostering deeper intimacy. Spring thawed the city, symbolizing renewal. They volunteered together at a LGBTQ+ center, helping others navigate love's complexities. Reagan designed posters for events, infusing her art with personal growth. One day at the center, Reagan met a young woman struggling with her identity. Sharing her story minus details, Reagan offered hope. "Love is messy but worth it." The encounter grounded her, affirming the humanity in her journey. Jamie proposed a trip to California, tracing Mia's old routes but making new memories. On the coast, under a sunset, they reaffirmed, "Through storms we endure." Back in New York, life stabilized. The exes faded into fond memories, no longer threats. Reagan's design firm thrived, Jamie's career soared. Their home filled with laughter, plans for adoption whispered. Yet, in quiet moments, Reagan wondered if the invitations had been fate's way of testing their bond. The answer? A resounding yes. It had made them stronger, more empathetic, truly human. Summer heat waves rolled through Manhattan, turning the city into a shimmering mirage of possibilities and pitfalls. Reagan and Jamie, fortified by their trials, planned a belated honeymoon to the Pacific Northwest. Seattle, ironically Sophia's turf. "Reclaiming the space," Jamie joked, packing with optimism. But fate, ever capricious, intervened. En route, Reagan's phone buzzed. "Taylor in crisis. My firm's collapsing, need advice." Reagan ignored it, but guilt nagged. In Seattle, wandering Pike Place Market, they bumped into Sophia at a poetry reading. "Small world," Sophia said, hugging awkwardly. Jamie tensed but handled it gracefully. Nice to see you. Later, over wine in their hotel, Jamie admitted. It stings, but I'm okay. Reagan marveled at her growth. You're my rock. The trip deepened their connection. Hiking in Olympic National Park, sharing dreams under starlit skies. But upon return, Elena resurfaced. Her gallery hosted an exhibit featuring pieces inspired by past loves, including a portrait resembling Reagan. Invitations arrived addressed to both. Should we go? Jamie asked. Reagan nodded. To show we're unbreakable. At the opening, amid chic crowds, Elena approached. This is my way of letting go. The portrait captured vulnerability, evoking empathy. Jamie squeezed Reagan's hand. Beautiful work. But drama lurked. Jordan, performing at the event, dedicated a song to old flames. Eyes locked on Reagan, stirring unease. Mia, their photographing, captured candid shots. Taylor arrived unexpectedly, drawn by professional ties. The exes converged again. Champagne fueling revelations. We've all moved on, Taylor declared. But Elena confessed. Seeing you happy hurts but heals. The evening turned therapeutic. Boundaries reaffirmed. Jamie, observing, felt a surge of pride. This is closure for all. As they left, Reagan whispered, Thank you for trusting me. Back home, life hummed with normalcy. Reagan landed a big client, designing for a national campaign on LGBTQ+ rights. Jamie prepared for a medical conference. Their evenings filled with cooking classes, fostering intimacy. Yet a final twist loomed. An anonymous letter arrived. Secrets from the past. Inside, photos from the wedding day, with notes hinting at Reagan's lingering doubts. Who sent this? Jamie demanded. Suspicion fell on the exes. Reagan confronted Elena via call. Was it you? Elena denied. Similar accusations to others yielded nothing. The betrayal cut deep, eroding trust anew. In therapy, Dr. Ramirez suggested, perhaps it's self-sabotage. But investigation revealed. Riley, Reagan's friend, misguided in her protectiveness. I thought Jamie should know everything, Riley admitted tearfully. The revelation shocked. Jamie felt violated. Reagan betrayed by a friend. They cut ties with Riley temporarily, focusing on healing. Through it, their bond solidified. No more secrets, Reagan vowed. They adopted a rescue dog, symbolizing new beginnings, naming her Hope. Fall brought reflection. At a Pride event in Washington Square Park, Reagan spoke on a panel about love's complexities. My journey taught me. Love thrives on honesty, survives through forgiveness. Jamie in the audience beamed. Afterward, they walked hand in hand, the city alive around them. The exes, scattered across the country, found their own paths. Elena sold the portrait, donating proceeds to charity. Taylor mentored young lawyers. Sophia published a book. Mia's exhibit toured. Jordan's album topped charts. Reagan realized the invitations had been a catalyst for growth, empathy, humanity. Not destruction but evolution. As Thanksgiving approached, they hosted family, toasts to resilience. To us, Jamie said, clinking glasses. Reagan smiled, heartful. In the quiet after, curled on the couch, Reagan whispered, I love you. Past, present, future. Jamie replied, always. Their story, dramatic and heartfelt, embodied America's spirit. Diverse, resilient, ever hopeful. With the new year dawning, New York's energy pulsed with renewal. Reagan and Jamie, battle-tested, embraced routines that nurtured their love, morning jogs in Central Park, evening strolls along the High Line. But echoes of the past tested their resolve one last time. Jordan's tour brought her to Madison Square Garden. Tickets arrived anonymously. Go, Jamie encouraged. Face it head-on. At the concert, Jordan spotted Reagan in the crowd, altering lyrics mid-song. From invited heartbreak to healed souls. Post-show backstage, Jordan hugged her. I'm happy for you. Truly. Closure sealed with a final strum. Mia followed, emailing photos from the exhibit, artistic renderings of their journeys. Used them as reminders of strength. Reagan framed one, hanging it as a testament. Taylor called with good news. Her firm recovered, thanks partly to Reagan's earlier advice. You've always been my lucky charm. Laughter shared, ties loosened to friendship. Sophia visited briefly, promoting her book. Over tea, she said, "You've inspired chapters. No lingering sparks, just warmth." Elena last invited them to her wedding, to a kind curator. "Come celebrate." In a sun-drenched vineyard upstate, Reagan and Jamie witnessed vows roles reversed. Elena whispered, "Thank you for showing me love's possibilities." Reagan teared up, hugging her. "Be happy." The event mirrored their own growth cycles complete. Back in the city, Jamie surprised Reagan with adoption papers. "Ready for the next chapter?" Reagan beamed. "With you? Always." They navigated the process, hearts open. Months later, welcoming little Maya, a toddler from foster care. Her laughter filled their home, binding them eternally. Challenges arose, parenting woes, work stresses, but their foundation held. Therapy continued, tools for lifelong harmony. Reagan's career peaked with a TEDx talk, inviting the past, lessons in love and forgiveness. She shared their story anonymized, inspiring audiences. Love isn't perfect, it's persistent. Jamie, promoted to head nurse, mentored young staff. Infusing compassion learned from trials. Friends reconciled. Riley returned apologetic, bonds mended. On their anniversary, they revisited the chapel. Empty now but filled with memories. "From chaos to this," Jamie said, kissing Reagan. "Worth every tear." The narrative, rich with drama and emotion, culminated in humanism. Love's power to heal, transform, unite. Not a fairy tale but real messy, beautiful American. As Maya slept between them, Reagan reflected. The bride hadn't shone because she needed to confront shadows. In doing so, she emerged into light, with a family forged in fire. Their story whispered to others. Invite the past but choose the future. And in that choice, find profound humanity. Years passed, Maya growing into a vibrant teen. Reagan and Jamie, graying gracefully, celebrated milestones, graduations, holidays. The exes became distant allies, occasional cards exchanged. In retirement, they moved to a cozy cabin in the Adirondacks, writing memoirs together. Our Love Story, Reagan titled it. From uninvited ghosts to eternal bonds. The end wasn't tragic but triumphant. A testament to resilience, romance, and the human spirit. In America's vast tapestry, their thread wove brightly, inspiring all who heard.